Hi!
Hey there, friends. Brian Garcia here with
Erin, Nicole, Bick, and we are
the Adventure Partners. How's everybody doing today?
Yeah. Doing good, I hope. So, today we want to talk to you about patience and a lesson in flexibility, because the universe has always got your back. Always.
For sure.
No matter what, you gotta course adjust sometimes, you gotta realign yourself, but that is just fine, because no matter what, you're always on the right path. So today we're gonna share with you a little bit. Brian's just actually doing a little share
sharing.
now.
We love sharing.
Yeah, we do love sharing.
If you like our posts, go ahead and thumbs up them, smiley face, throw a heart on it. We love the hearts also.
Yeah.
Or share it.
So, big lesson in patience for us as of lately has been the internet connection. Some of you would have seen on our last live that we were cutting in and out like robots the whole time, and it kind of sucked. But at the same time, us not having the best internet connection has allowed us to work on our course.
It has allowed us to concentrate. It has allowed us to kind of talk about the global kind of picture of the direction that we're going and everything.
Yeah.
And so we're pretty freaking excited about it, because it's allowed us to eliminate some distractions, get a little workout on, go hang out at the beach. Yeah, hang out at the beach, soak up some sun rays. Yeah.
And we use this killer program called Evernote. If you've never used Evernote and you're in business or you want to be in business, it's a really cool way to organize yourself. But Brian and I, actually, before we even, well, not before we met, but when we were long distance and we would want to write notes about adventure partners, or one of us is writing up a blog post and we need the other one to take a look at it, it was so much easier for us to just toss it in Evernote, because you can share notes with each other and the other person can look at your note and edit your note and all that jazz. So when we were at the beach the other day, I hammered out like most of a blog post
on Evernote.
Offline on Evernote. Well, it's not better than WordPress, or not WordPress. What's that called? Right there.
No, Word, Microsoft Word.
Microsoft Word. I kind of like using it a bit better than Microsoft Word, but it's not as intelligent.
Yeah.
Anyways, so offline, had to be patient, get offline.
Yeah. So being on an island right now, or wherever you are in the world that potentially doesn't have the best internet connection, a lot of times you just gotta have to ask questions. You've got to step out of your comfort zone and find out, is there something better around the corner? There might be. There might be a better internet connection.
Yeah.
There might be a better place to go eat. And if you have to walk an extra block to go to that,
sometimes you gotta do that. Have some patience. We've been patient on our beans. Actually, being super productive right now, because we've got a really yummy soup in the pot right now waiting for us, and we're just kind of like letting everything percolate. And I was like, hey, while everything's percolating, Brian, do you want to go live?
I said, yeah, we've got a better internet connection now. Because
Hotspot, baby!
Yeah.
And our gal, Melody, she hooked us up today and had an internet guy come to fix up our deal. So
we should have some decent internet for the next month.
Yeah. So that's pretty cool.
So what other areas in life do you need to practice patience with?
Sometimes you gotta be patient. Actually, most of the time you gotta be patient with yourself, and that comes also with being gentle. I know, like, along my weight loss journey, fitness journey, it's been like woo, up and down and crazy, and sometimes you just gotta be patient with yourself.
Patient with results.
Patient with the results coming. Patient with the results coming.
Yeah.
How about you?
Patience with the growth within your own life. patience when the next meal is coming. I'm a very hungry person. Patience with how fast you can get things done.
Yeah.
A lot of times it's not about the speed at which you get things done, even though like I like to get things done super, super fast because it makes me feel productive, makes me feel like I'm getting a lot of things done. But a lot of times, in order to get the big thing done, you have to step back sometimes and take a really good look at it, because what develops during the time of the lull is actually what develops into the bigger picture. And so, like, especially with our course, like, we've had a lot of direction on where we were going with it, what we wanted to accomplish with it. And you probably have no idea what the course is about because we haven't announced what it's about. And
we're not going to,
not yet, no, because we've been taking in a lot of questions that people have been asking us, both people that we know and mainly from people that we don't even have a slight clue of who they are, other than, you know, they've reached out to us. So that was like our first connection with some of these people, and sometimes the only connection on some cases. So we've kind of dialed it back for a second because we know that if we can look at the overall picture and be a little patient with our production on it, then we're going to be so much more targeted with the way that we can present the information, because you've been asking us for the information. And you know, and whenever I say you, it's the community you. I mean, we just rolled over 6,000 followers this morning.
People are asking us a lot of questions, and we've got answers. We want to help people out. That's why we started Be Adventure Partners, is because we wanted to help people. So us coming across little moments in this course as we're writing this course and being like, where are we going with this thing? And then the other day, we didn't have the internet, our connection was total crap, and like we were doing research and stuff, but then it kind of hit us that our layout, we hadn't done a layout. We hadn't done a proper layout. We hadn't done an overview of where we wanted to go and what we want to accomplish and what specifically you would be learning. So we took a step back, and we thought about what some of our greatest mentors had told us. We went to a workshop in January, and these guys said, when you're creating something, start at the end. Always start at the end.
Start with the end in mind.
If you have the end in mind and you can see the vision, where you're going, what you want to create, it's easier to take steps in, okay, so how am I going to accomplish this? How am I going to accomplish this? If this is what I want, how am I going to make it happen?
You have the big picture.
Yeah.
And so yesterday, we were talking, and all of a sudden I stopped the conversation, and I said, oh, you know, hey everybody who is on. Hey, I see Josh Edwards. I see Robin Ellis.
Oh, Robin. Thank you so much for your sweet
beautiful post today. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Loved
all y'all.
All y'all.
Welcome, welcome.
Oh, I just said y'all.
So, I love it. Darn tootin'. Oh, I just said darn tootin'. So we stepped back for a second, and I halted the conversation. I said, we weren't even talking about the course. And I said, what is the end result of the course? Let's talk about the end result. What, if someone was to take the course, what would they want to achieve by the time they finish the course? What is the end? And we looked at each other and we said, oh my gosh, we haven't even talked about that yet.
We just started writing this thing, and it just kept getting bigger and bigger, and like kind of complicated, and like it was just like a puke of ideas, which were great ideas.
We're using all of them.
And super valuable, and we're going to use them, but now we have a method to the madness, and we've broken it down, and now it's like, not compartmentalized, but like it's in nice.
It's more defined.
It's more defined, and it's just getting better and better. And we've had to practice patience because we keep thinking, when are we going to get this thing done? When are we going to be able to put it out? People are asking for information.
And we've been working on it since April.
Yeah. Yeah, and we're like, oh my god, people are thinking we can't produce. Like, we've been talking about this thing, but neither one of us have ever built a course before.
Not like this.
Not like this.
I've done how-tos about all sorts of cool things. In the Be Adventure Partners exclusive tribe, like we've been putting up cool content in there that's only for our tribe members, and so those are pretty solid topics that we've been putting up in there.
And we've been having a lot of fun with it because we can like really get down to the nitty gritty and talk biz there, because the people in our group are super understanding and they're learning too. So it's been a lot of fun. But Robin just mentioned, it sounds like her trying to build her blog. The blog for me also, and being patient with that process was insane. I remember going through these waves of actually that's how I met Brian. I was trying to put together this blog and I really had no idea. I've been doing hair for years, totally confused and frustrated and just oh my gosh, how do I do this thing? But it all started coming together as soon as I started understanding the terminology, and I started watching videos and using my resources, and Brian was a big one of them, but Googling things. Google. Thank you.
Literally.
Thank you,
if you've got a question about something, don't get frustrated that you don't have the answer right there in front of you right that second. My biggest resource that I use, and I take patience when I do this because sometimes I don't know what I'm looking for. But if I've got an idea of what I'm looking at, and then I describe it in words and throw how-to in front of it, how to make whatever work on the blog, how to make drop-down menu work on WordPress. I mean, whatever it is that you're trying to, that's what I do. So a lot of our tribe members, a lot of people who are not in the tribe yet, who are future tribe members, they message and they say, hey, I'm trying to figure out whatever, or I'm trying to do whatever. If I don't know the answer, guess what? I'm giving them the answer because I go to Google and they messaged me in text and what do? I go and I highlight their question and I paste it in Google and I look to see what comes up and I'm like, hey, here's your answer.
If he doesn't know it, or if he, okay, so this is one thing, because I felt like
I know a lot about nothing in particular. Go for it.
I felt like such a weenie when I started talking to Brian, and I'd be like, Brian, help me with this, because I knew he was smart after I talked to him for a while, and I was like, this guy's got to figure it out. So I would send Brian a message, and I'd be like, how do you know that? And he'd be like, oh, I Googled it. And he would actually just write how to blah, blah, blah in the Google search bar and send me the page that came up instead of giving me the answer. And I think that's way more empowering for people than giving them the actual answer. Because we need to start to learn how to be resourceful and look for ourselves.
Absolutely. And it's interesting because, people look at you because you're constantly, as you're growing your business, it takes patience to grow because it's not something that happens overnight. And you realize that, oh my gosh, I started this 10-day trial to learn marketing, and I realized that I'm not going to learn marketing in 10 days. Some people go to college for that, but when they do, for 4 years. But when they do, it's all theoretical and it's all print. It's not even social media or anything like that. And social media changes every few months. There's something constantly every couple of weeks, something changing, new algorithm, new tweaks. So we stay abreast of that. We stay on top of that by keeping our cards close to us and keeping resources with us. We've got some extremely powerful friends who are in the industry, and they actually have teams that go and curate all of this knowledge, and then they put together newsletters that talk about, for instance, the top changes in Facebook that happen every single week. So, every single week, there's a brand new newsletter that comes out, and it's 8 pages long, and it goes over, hey, here's all the new stuff that's going on that you can take part of. And guess what? I paid for a subscription for that because it's invaluable. our business grows exponentially because of the information that's being fed to me by a guy who has a team curating all this information and putting it together.
Yeah.
And
we invest in that stuff because, like Brian said, it is invaluable. If you don't invest in yourself, how are you supposed to grow?
And guess who gets to benefit from that? The Be Adventure Partner exclusive tribe members. Because
and we do.
What's up?
And we do.
Oh, yeah,
We
yeah.
do.
Absolutely.
And us benefiting from what we're learning
Yeah.
teaches our tribe.
Yeah.
So.
Absolutely. Well, that's what I was meaning. So, like, you know, for who benefits from us learning, our tribe does. That's kind of the direction I was going with that. But besides that, we also empower you to, you know, take patience in what it is that you're doing in life, regardless of what it is. If you're trying to get that promotion at work, if you're trying to, you know, build a business on the side so that you don't have to try for the promotion at work, don't try to build a business. Do it. There's actually a step-by-step way to actually build it out, even if you've never done it before.
Totally. And you know what? I'm digging what our girl Robin has been saying up in here. If you have the why, you have to trust that it's going to come your way. I love that.
But you don't just sit there and hope it comes.
No.
You've got the why. You also must have the action to back that up.
Like our girl Robin. She has been...
Oh my gosh.
It's been so cool to see our friend Robin putting the pedal to the metal and getting solid results. Like really cool results. Those don't happen without putting the pedal to the metal. And she also said, I'm loving it. I step back, have a dream, then come back and make the change. That's amazing. Something that I actually learned painting when I was oil painting was I had to take a step back, take a look at it, because sometimes when you're like up here, like all up in it, you don't see the big picture.
It looks like a mosaic, maybe.
It looks like a mess,
or
like
blobs.
a muddy mess. And then you take a step back and you look at it and you're like, holy smokes, I've got something here.
Yeah.
And that is true to any idea. Like, if you have an idea about something, it doesn't mean you necessarily have to bounce it off of somebody else. But I strongly encourage you, if you have an idea of how you want to develop, change your life, create a business, if you have that idea sitting in the back burner of your mind, I encourage you to write it out, to break it down, to write down this whole thing and be like, and then start doing the research. Like, holy smokes, are other people interested in the things that I'm interested? We had another girl on our team, for example. Actually, quite a few people have trouble with branding themselves. They don't know where to start. They don't know how to necessarily choose a brand for themselves.
But that's not their fault.
It's not their fault.
Yeah.
It's not their fault. So something that we always encourage is do the research.
Yeah.
Do the research. As soon as you start doing the research, it gives you a greater perspective of the need of others.
And don't feel rushed, especially when you're doing something like that, because this is something that you're going to carry with you. Yeah. So if you feel rushed, oh my gosh, I got to develop a logo, or I need to develop the face of my business, the banner at the top of the screen, or the cover photo on my business page, or the banner on my blog. Like, I gotta make this.
Yeah.
You know what? Why don't you just take a step back, put something up to start off with? Like, let's say you brand yourself, and you know, for instance, like Be Adventure Partners. Originally, we didn't have the logo to start off with.
No.
We just had some words up there. Be Adventure Partners.
Some silly videos.
And a couple weeks later, we developed the logo. And that's how that's how you build it. Be patient and know that what you're doing and the time you take is going to cause you to build something you never thought you'd be able to.
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about being patient, we also like to say, don't try to go forward, or don't try to be so patient that you're a perfectionist that you never do anything. Because if are, have paralysis by analysis and you're all like, oh my gosh, it's got to be perfect, like, you're never going to produce anything. Now, if you put something out and you constantly improve upon it, and you take time to really think about your color scheme, but you put something out there and just start generating some, interest and stuff, and momentum, that's where it really starts paying off, because people see improvements in what you're doing, and people love seeing that.
Yep. And that's actually what gets the creative juices flowing even more, and the excitement flowing. Like, you start to build this momentum in what you're creating, or even just in the baby stages. Like, you have an idea and you want to build something, and now you started to write it down, you've put it on paper, you step back, you take a look at it. Is this something that people need? Is it something people want? Is this something that I could talk about all day long and be really excited about? Take a step back, take a look at it. Now that you have this momentum flowing in front of you, it propels you further, and things start to come to you. Once you put that idea out there, you wouldn't be gifted the idea if it wasn't something that you were meant to do. That's a really big thing. If you weren't meant to achieve greatness, the idea wouldn't be gifted to you. So what are you going to do with that gift? How are you going to run with that gift? That's the big question. And that's where you have to be patient with yourself, because it's not all going to happen in one day. But if you start asking more powerful questions, things start coming to you like a magnet. You will not even be able to fathom how fast these things start coming in your direction.
Yeah, that's absolutely powerful.
Yeah.
And what's interesting about that is that when you're building, and you think to yourself, okay, I've got this idea, and you think to yourself, would people be interested in this? Don't prejudge your ability and what it is that you're offering to people potentially, because if you think about it, you're one person and you just have this idea. There's 7.5 billion, I just googled this, that's what I was doing just now, see how the world population, 7.5 billion people currently in the world. On Facebook alone, there's 1.9 billion active users, which is about 25% of the world population is on Facebook. So do you think that potentially there might be 1,000 people that might be interested in what you have to hear?
That'd be a solid audience.
Or what about 6,000? Like, we just rolled over 6,000 on the Be Adventure Partner page. Or
it's kind of unbelievable.
Yeah. Or what about, there's some other friends of ours just rolled over 100,000 on their Facebook business page, the marketing platform. It's like, are you kidding?
They would have never guessed that. And if when they started that, they weren't patient the whole way along to start achieving this and build it over, was it 8 years? 9 years?
Yeah, well, since 2008.
Yeah, if they didn't have patience and they didn't believe in themselves that their path would light up as they went, they would never have achieved that.
And it all starts with patience, an idea to do something, taking action. Like, don't sit on it and think, I'm gonna just sit here and I'm gonna be patient with this and see if this grows to be something. But think about this: if you had an idea and you wrote it down and you had no idea how to execute anything, why don't you jump on an adventure call? Because there might be some people who know how the dots connect and could show you a step-by-step plan.
They might just specialize in it.
Hey, welcome to everybody who's on.
Wanna say hey?
Yeah. Julie House, see ya. What's up? Going on? How's it going?
Oh, Julie House. I went to public school with her.
What's up, Chica?
Cool.
Yeah, let's see if we...
Yeah.
Robin's on.
It's hard to see on this thing. Maybe it's our connection.
Yeah,
anyways.
Maybe. So that's
pretty much it. Our soup is smelling really good.
Yeah.
And I'm happy that we made this use of our time, and we're super pumped and so grateful that our internet connection has been working really well tonight. so that we could talk to you guys.
Yeah,
And
so
we appreciate you guys coming out.
yeah, so if you got value from this, please feel free to share it to your page, tag someone in this post who you think might benefit from some patience and learning about it.
Yeah.
Go ahead and tag them in here. If you're watching the replay, still throw up hearts. Throw up hearts. We love tons of hearts. We also love comments. We interact with people, even if it's months after and they leave a comment. We get notified and everything here on Facebook. So stay connected.
Stay connected. And until next time, friends.
Adventure on.
Adventure on.
A good night or day, depending on what side of the world you're on.
Adios, amigos.